Truth, right?
How do we know?
Because you just said you looked at the bones. So someone was in the room for 2 years. You think that's true?
Maybe. Why is that a problem?
No one.
In a room for 2 years?
In the room.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I thought room in a room.
And the same
Okay.
historian.
In a womb, no, that's scientifically impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so I'm
not.
saying a lot of these things are just we can't know.
In medieval histories and chronicles, you really have to sift out the truth from falsehood. There is falsehood, there is truth. So you really have to filter.
That's my point. You can only really get a little percentage of truth.
No, we can know a lot of.
There, you just said 50%. You agree with, but even then, it's an exaggeration.
You can know a lot of truth, depending on how you're looking for truth.
You could say someone has a beard. You have a beard. I have a beard.
Yeah.
You got a real beard to me, and I don't.
No, you have a beard.
Yeah, but you got a more substantial beard.
Oh, he's got more substantial than mine.
That's what my point is. I'm saying that's a real beard.
Yeah.
And your beard is a real beard.
But if you're saying we cannot know history, this is a very radical position. This is not sustainable.
It's a radical position. I think saying we know absolute history is a radical position.
Define absolute.
Well, truth, as in 100%.
Define truth.
Well, 100% truth.
Define 100%. What do you mean by 100%? One man's 100% is someone else's 10%. So this is the
point is absolute.
It depends how much history you are satisfied with, how much you want to know. For example, if I want to know whether Egyptian pharaohs were actually called those names, as the Bible claims, Ramesses II, for example, or Ramesses. Was there a pharaoh called Ramesses?
So
the only narrative source we have
a different name in different cultures.
The only narrative source we have for Ramesses is the Bible. And then the only other source we have are the stelas, the actual physical evidence from Egypt, right? Ramesses' name is there on the stelas. Therefore, we know absolutely with 100% certainty that Ramesses was a real person.
About them. That's nothing. I don't even know your name. I think I know more about you talking to you than your name.
Okay.
Do you not?
That's fine. That's good enough for you.
No, do you
problem.
disagree? If you knew my name, what's more important? Have a conversation for 10 minutes or knowing someone's name?
Both. It depends what you want from me. If you want to be my friend, if you want to keep in touch with me, if you want to go on talking to me, you would want to know my name.
Yeah. I'd also not want to know what your character is.
So it comes back to what you want to do.
And if you really
with
know
facts.
someone, can you know the whole them either? All of these things.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But what are we actually discussing? Because this discussion is going around in the circles. Well, you raised. I only got talking to you because you raised a point that we cannot know history. I disagree. I'm a historian. I'm a professional historian, and I'm qualified as an academic. Okay.
Sure.
I know for a fact that there is history that we can know for certain, 100%, absolutely. At the same time, many historic claims found in chronicles and histories are dubious, are very difficult to ascertain, and we agree with that. So having this position, you cannot have a reductionist, black and white approach to history. It doesn't work. It never works. What we need to do is, for example, if there is a claim, a historic claim in a literature or in a narrative, then we have to go and confirm and look for evidence.
So my argument against that, it's not about confirm. It's like science, right? You can't ever confirm something. You can just say this is not the truth.
Science is a tool that can give you.
Science is trying to work out what the truth is. That's what science is.
And they have the methods to reach that truth.
History, right?
Wait.
You can never be
Science cannot tell you right and wrong. Science fails.
Science can do just as much as history.
No, science cannot tell you right and wrong.
Can I just ask, if you're looking
why murder is wrong, science doesn't say anything about it.
Same as history.
If you're looking to confirm something,
Fine.
how can you avoid bias?
How can you avoid bias?
If you're looking to confirm something, how can you avoid bias?
Good question.
Human beings will always be biased.
There you go.
Always. There is.
Keep it to
So what you do is, first thing is first. You establish basic facts about any claim to history or to historic facts. If someone claims something to be a fact, then you try to establish that claim, looking at the evidence, scientific evidence. You use science, you use archaeology, You use epigraphic record, you use numismatics, you use narratives, you use all sorts of things. Historians are not just reading, people think historians are studying once upon a time there was a fox and there was a chicken and they lived happily ever after. History doesn't work like that. History is a very complicated system of studying the past, and history can be studied through a number of methods by using a number of avenues. As I mentioned, archaeology, epigraphic record, narratives, chronicles, and inscriptions, things like that. Okay, we know a lot. We know Alexander the Great started from Macedonia and went all the way to Pakistan. Okay, this is where he had the bloodiest battle of his career, and then he turned around and he went back to Babylon and he died in Babylon. No one disputes these facts. These are facts, because we don't only have the narratives about his life. We don't only have Plutarch and Aryan historians who have written on Alexander the Great. We also have coins. We also have inscriptions. We have the remnants of the Greeks in India and Pakistan today, right? So we have so much evidence, overwhelming evidence.
These are all by the conquerors, really, aren't they? So they're only at best.
Again, I would like to correct you there. This thing that history is only written by the conquerors is a very primitive idea. It's a very primitive, it's a very childish idea. It doesn't work in history.
I think it's childish to say it's not more substantial. If you say it's just half-half, that's just, I'm sorry, it's childish.
I'm saying basic facts.
It's very black and white.
Basic facts about Alexander's life.
Basic facts are the rulers write the history books.
No,
and anyone disagrees
not
with
necessarily.
them, they're in trouble.
You're wrong. You're plainly wrong, because
you're clearly wrong.
we have secret histories.
Even editing here. If someone's editing something,
Are you here to listen also, or you?
right now?
Okay, but I can show you why you're wrong.
Finish my point.
Yeah.
So if you're editing a video, you decide what you want to leave in, what you want to take out.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. Who's in control of the books? Who gets written?
Now let me explain.
So say the
You raised a good point. Let me respond to it.
People who actually are more educated tend
Right.
to be the richer people, right?
Okay. History works like
They're
this.
the people
Let me explain
who tend
something to
to
you.
read and write.
Let me
Other
explain to
people
you.
aren't going to read and write.
Okay.
So they're not going to give their.
You
side
raised a
of
good
the
point. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras here. This guy will edit the video as he likes. There is another one recording, and then there's another one. There's another one. One of them will put out the angle that you couldn't get there. This is how historians work. They don't just go to one history or one historian to study the past. They look at a number of things to confirm claims made by King's historian, for example, official historian, because we don't rely on official historians. Historians know what to believe and what not to believe, and they raise questions.
Historians know what to and what to not believe.
Have you ever
It's all
studied?
their bias,
Look,
surely.
before we go on, have you ever studied history systematically? What are your credentials on history?
Sorry, I don't think you do a debate asking someone their credentials.
Well, you do. That's the first thing you do.
As soon as
That's the first thing,
No,
because
it's
you're
not.
raising
No, it's
questions.
not.
They
If
are
you
so
can't
basic.
If you can't answer without putting someone down, you haven't got.
I'm
a
not
good
putting
argument.
you down.
If you're saying, "Oh, I've got good credentials," "Oh, you're basic," that's not a good debate.
No, because
Sorry, it's a weak
because
argument.
you are talking in very primitive terms.
Again, I'm
The-
not
these
saying
are-
you're
these are-
arguing primitive terms.
Yeah.
Are you the best professor? Are you the know-it-all of all of
No,
these
I'm
things?
not. I'm not.
You're not.
I'm
Finally,
not.
some humbleness.
But no. Of course, humility has nothing to do with this discussion.
Well, if you're putting someone down and saying I'm
me-
qualified, I think you've
Me
lost some
challenging
kind of
your
point.
credentials on history because
a
you're
weak
raising
argument.
points that don't make sense to historians.
Sorry, of
Yeah.
course it makes sense. Saying someone is who's more educated, who's therefore reading, you're applying that to that audience. Same as the videotapes. You have an audience that you're catering for.
Have you studied neuroscience ever?
Yeah,
You have.
in my own kind of way. But again,
Fine.
that's
Fine. Wait.
regardless of the
If
point.
you were standing here making claims about neuroscience, or
So you're
wait,
saying only
relax.
people
Let me
qualified
finish my
to
statement.
debate.
Let me finish my statement. There has to be a conversation, please.
Yeah.
If you were standing here making claims about neuroscience or
making
mechanical biology, like wait, or astrophysics, for example, I have the right to ask questions. Have you studied these fields? If the answer is no, then I would tell you to go and study. Likewise, history is no exception. Why do people think history and religion, any Tom, Dick and Harry can come and talk on religion and history?
So if you don't
I mean,
have the answer,
wait,
you just say,
I'm finishing.
You're not qualified
If you
to
had a
say
problem with your heart,
you're
you would
saying.
go to a heart surgeon or heart specialist. You wouldn't go to a kidney specialist. Why? Because you're a sensible. You're a sensible person.
I know. I guess it's a historian.
So the difficulty of talking to a historian is that a historian will speak
if you're
with.
in the debate, you talk about another thing completely and diminish someone because
No,
you haven't got the answers.
no. I wouldn't stand here and talk about
That's what you're
astrophysics.
doing.
Wait. I wouldn't talk with my credentials. I wouldn't stand here and discuss astrophysics because I know my limits. I wouldn't. If there was an
If you don't know the answer, then you have to put someone down. That's what you're doing.
I think this is not a conversation. Yeah. You're not getting the point.
I get your
I'm
point.
saying
I get your point. You know
if
what?
there was an
You don't have
astrophysicist
the
in front of me, I would not challenge his credentials, especially when I haven't studied the field.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point.
Also-
So
you're
the
also
humility has
saying
nothing to
your
do with it.
You're also saying your
Yeah,
qualifications.
you're making
You
claims
should go
like
there,
history is
your
written by
qualifications to show out.
victors
Maybe
and the
everyone here
kings.
should have their
And,
qualifications that they say and show
okay,
before they talk.
let me give you an example. You know Procopius.
And what's your relevance?
Do you know Procopius, who that is?
Answer. What was your point?
Do you know
I
Procopius?
don't
Yes or
think
no?
it's relevant. If
I'll
I
tell
know
you how
or
it's
not.
relevant.
Go and say it then. Tell me
Okay,
why.
do you know Procopius?
That's,
Do you know Procopius?
what's your
So,
point?
yes, I can.
What's your
Do you
point?
know a blue
What's your
flying duck?
point?
You can
What's
say no,
your
I don't.
point? What's
right?
your point?
My point is, Procopius was a Roman Byzantine historian who wrote a secret history of Justinian, one of the most powerful Roman emperors. The reason why it's called secret history because it wasn't the state version of events. Wait, relax. Let me finish. Likewise, the reason why I gave you Procopius's example is because
So
Procopius.
there's alternative histories now you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Okay, carry on.
The reason why I mentioned Procopius is because that's a very famous, well-known example among the historians to debunk this idea that history is only written by kings and their court historians and victors. This is a lie. We historians, we historians. You said it, you just said it. You said it 3 minutes ago that history is written by kings and their
Mostly written by kings and leaders.
What
It's
do
true,
you
it's a
mean
fact.
mostly? What do you mean mostly?
I mean, the majority are.
How do you know? If you don't
They
know,
are.
okay, do you know
Because
Procopius?
Most people that are educated tend to
Do you know
be-
Arian?
Sorry?
Do you know Plutarch? Do you know Herodotus, for example?
So you're
Do you know
just saying
Herodotus?
things
Do you know
because
Herodotus?
You can't back up with what you're saying.
Again, I'm trying to show you you're making claims without substance.
Sorry, that's what you're doing. You're saying, "Oh, I'm qualified because I know words." That's all you're saying.
I'll give you another
That's
great
exactly
example.
what you're doing.
One of the most powerful Mughal emperors in India was called Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, the famous Akbar who ruled India for 50 years. One of the most powerful Mughal emperors. One of his court historians wrote a secret history without his knowledge. His name was Mullah Abdul Qadir Badayuni. Wait, relax.
Okay, so-
Let me finish.
okay.
Let me finish. Don't cut me, please, when I'm making a point.
go on.
My purpose is to educate people. He wrote this secret history called Muntakhab al-Tawarikh. In this history, he stated things about the king that the king would never tolerate if he was to come about those things. Wait, relax, wait. He specifically instructed his children to publish this book after the king is dead and I am dead. Okay? Because if the king is to find out what I wrote in the book, he would kill me. And if I am alive and the king's descendants find out, they will. So both of us. So his book was published, and we have many disturbing facts about Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. So again, wait, relax. We have examples upon examples upon examples upon examples from throughout history where historians wrote against kings while the kings were alive and ruling, right? So for someone to claim that history is written by victors, sorry?
But that wasn't very common, though.
Sorry, my
It wasn't
point.
common.
In your own country, writing about your
Sorry,
family,
my
about your own
point.
king
Sorry.
now.
Do you have any, again, I'm not trying to be arrogant here. Yeah, when you make a claim about a field,
Kings killed their own wives.
no,
Like, why wouldn't they kill someone right before they
you're
died?
ignoring my question.
Okay, fine.
My question is very pointed and direct.
Alright.
When you make a claim about a field, should you follow basic rules and conventions of that field or not? Yeah, you should.
Sorry,
right.
can I just
So
continue?
the basic thing about history is, before you make a claim about the history of the world, you have to have basic knowledge of the history of the world. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's why we have historians,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Thank you. So that's the point I'm making.
so my
When
point-
someone comes along and says only kings got their histories
I didn't say
written
that,
and
so-
all we know
No,
is from the
that's not what
kings.
he said. That's not what he
Yeah.
said.
Sorry, can I just ask you? Say that happened. I think probably the truth happened there to some extent. Also,
To some extent.
we don't know, right? That's my point.
No, we do know.
We don't. I'm asking you this.
How do we-
My question.
This is
my
why it
question-
comes back to
Can I have my-
credentials.
Again, I let you finish. Let
Yeah.
me finish. If there was a coup against the leader, would that coup not have other alternative history spreads?
Yes.
Right.
Would
Okay.
that not happen?
Okay.
I'm asking you that.
Good
would
question.
That person
Okay,
also
right.
look for hearsay, gossip, to kind of diminish? the
Okay,
king?
I'm gonna.
Obviously, that's the rational thing they would do.
Would
Okay.
there not also be other people
I-
who wanted the king to come have
I want to establish something before we continue with this conversation, because I like to have pointed, fruitful conversations, not just merry-go-round.
what's
Okay,
your
wait. Are we discussing history and how it works? Yes or no?
I mean, he's
No, I was talking to him.
Answer
You just came. I was talking to
Are
him.
you looking for time here? What's your
No.
answer?
Are we discussing history and how it works?
I think, have you got an answer to this question, or are you just like?
It's not a trap question.
It's
It's
not a trap
it's a
question.
question to determine our
I don't
direction.
know why you're not answering that question.
I will. Are we discussing history and how it works?
Are you answering the question? Or are we talking about the rules suddenly?
Do you understand my question?
I'm
Are
not-
we
I
discussing?
had a
Are we
question.
discussing history?
I have a question for
Bro,
you.
answer his
Okay.
question.
If then the reason why I'm asking this question is, if we are discussing history,
you answer-
then
answer the
it's a specialist field.
Okay.
If we are discussing heart surgery
Okay.
or neuroscience
Right.
or astrophysics, then it's a field,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And when we discuss a field, then we have to discuss it with rules. Okay. You will not tolerate
Are you debating
a
with me or
shoemaker.
talking to the
No,
cameras?
I'm talking to the cameras as well.
that's
Okay.
fair. 'Cause
it
The
doesn't
cameras are
like
there. I
your
cannot
answer.
ignore them.
It's been like over a minute now.
Okay.
These guys pay the
So if someone wants to come and discuss neuroscience or astrophysics and has no idea how these fields work,
Right, no.
then
That's a fault.
then if there is a neuroscientist, and an astrophysicist standing
Wait, but what
there
are we debating
who's willing to answer the questions, then the one who is not qualified in that field should ask the question and listen carefully.
Yes, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
have an answer
I'm a
to this?
historian. I'm a qualified historian.
In what field?
History,
Of what?
medieval history.
Medieval history.
Yes, I am. Yes. Okay.
you have an answer to
And this gentleman, I asked him repeatedly, if you are a qualified historian, then we can speak on equal terms. Otherwise, it's a Q&A.
Oh, so
It's a Q&A.
It's not equal terms now.
No, it's not.
So you have no
No.
answer for what I asked.
Okay, ask now. It's a Q&A. I'll answer your question now. Ask your question.
So,
And then you're going to listen to me quietly.
I
Yeah.
think you just kind of tried to get away from
Because if
answering
you're
that
trying to,
question.
why would I do that?
Because
Why
you
would
have no
I
answer
ask
to
your
it.
question?
Okay, so you mentioned someone who basically had an alternative history about what happened. If there was a coup,
About what happened? About what happened?
if there was a coup for this leader, would there not be hearsay? Would there not be gossip? Would there not be people pushing their own agendas?
Everything. Yes, you're right.
So
All
does
of
that
that.
not muddle everything?
No, it doesn't.
How does that not muddle everything?
Because we know how to.
If you weren't there,
You asked
how
me a
can
question.
know?
You asked me a question, right? It's my right to answer the question now. Yeah. How do we know the history we know today is not muddled or mixed or
I think we do.
contaminated?
I think all history is
There you go. We have an expert now telling us all history is all history is muddled. No, but he's making claims. Wait. He is making claims. No, he's not. Why does your rationality not work with astrophysics and neuroscience? Because you cannot just walk in and say, I'm a rational person, I'm going to talk about neuroscience and astrophysics, and you don't know anything about the field. Likewise, if a person is not, he asks, I'm a qualified historian, he's asking me a question, I'm giving answers, he doesn't want to listen because he has presuppositions. But you cannot have presuppositions on astrophysics and neuroscience, just like that history is a field. You can't treat it like I can kick it around and say what I want. It doesn't work like that. No one's going to take you seriously. Yeah, and there are jokers out there who do that to history. They try to pretend, or they try to put themselves like as if they're historians. Why don't we do that with astrophysics and neuroscience or space technology? Why don't we do that? I mean, if you walked into NASA,
So you know
if you
history
walked into one of the, if you walked into one of the experimental, he's not saying anything. He's not making anything.
I don't think you answered the question.
I answered the question that. Okay. Next question.
We can go around for ages.
Thank you. Nice talking to you. Nice talking to you. So to summarize, history is not for everyone to come and slap around. Like you don't do this to other fields. When you want surgery on your kidneys, you don't go to the heart specialist, as qualified as a heart specialist may be, right? If you want your lungs fixed, you don't go to someone who's a skin specialist. Yes? If you want your stomach fixed, you don't go to someone who's an optician or someone who is an eye specialist, right? Because you respect your body, you respect your health, you wouldn't be reckless with your health. Just like that, you just don't have opinions on history and astrophysics and neuroscience and space technology, because you must talk about these things with background, with education. Otherwise, ask questions and have patience to listen to the answers.
You know what happened here? I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
He wanted to ask a question, but
He was trying to answer himself.
he was not articulate enough to word it in a way that didn't show certainty in what he was saying, even though he was coming from a position of not having knowledge. And then when you challenged him on the certainty of his claim, he began to feel insecure.
Yes.
And the moment you challenged him further, he's standing next to what I would imagine to be a female associate, and then he's now feeling even more threatened. No, but I'm telling you what I saw, you know.
Yeah.
And then what's happened is, because you were talking about it strictly in the subject matter and devoiding the human condition from the conversation,
Yes.
he couldn't then now meet you anymore, and that conversation was over.
Absolutely. Look, look, because it's my field, I wouldn't talk like this on neuroscience or astrophysics. I wouldn't open my mouth, because that's not my field.
I know, but I don't.
Yeah.
My field
Yeah.
is emotionally sense making. How people make sense.
Okay, that's your field. I'm poor in that.
It's okay, yeah. But the thing is, what I've come to understand, I'm just sharing.
Whoa. Okay, no casualties. No casualties, thank God. Okay, whose camera is this? Okay. Yeah, we survived. Yeah, no.
मैं कराची से आया हूँ और बशीर शाह के साथ फेसबुक पे हम काम करते हैं कादियानियों के
अच्छा मुझे mics. Can I take off the mics? The conversation is over. The show is over. Okay. Look, the point is, what was the point of the conversation? So the point of the
conversation is over.
The conversation is over. The point of the conversation was, when we ask questions, we should ask questions with an open mind, with an intention to learn, not to challenge without background knowledge. That's the point. Okay, we have too many people around the world who think they can speak on everything. We have people who are talking on politics, people who are talking on psychology, people who are talking on political affairs, people who are talking about economy.
And where is the most fundamental truth you get from mathematics? Always.
There you go. That's another problem.
Do you know what?
And I'm not going to indulge in that. Thank you.
Mathematics is taught around the world the same.
Thank you, guys. Until further notice. Okay. Thank you.
And the conversation shuts down because mathematics.
You see, the problem is, we are here to educate people. The only reason we're not here to show off and score brownie points. We are here with the purpose of education. And when a conversation
I'm
is
not here to score brownie points. I'll tell you why.
No, I'm not saying you are.
I'm not here
Please
to
don't
score
get-
brownie points. You're very fantastic. I've seen you on YouTube, right? I've given up teaching. Do you know why? I've given up teaching for COVID. I don't agree with the ideology that's coming.